We live? Yep, we live. Okay. This is going to be funny. You know, I'm probably gonna break in this a little later on because I got some business to take care of. But I just want to put out the cap screen, all cap, no fluff. When it comes to today, I probably don't even be on here that long because it's crazy. Today is Mother's Day, you know, and for men in this space, you got a plethora of men that's display irregular behavior when it comes to the females. What's going on, Gold P? And I would just like to say these men by far will be going down in history probably as, the craziest and the worst of men, but that's just my opinion because being that, you know, you had a bad mom, I can understand. Don't fool with her. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't have no involvement in her. You ain't got to go to the family reunion or nothing to kick it with her or nothing. But if you had a okay or a good mom and show love to her, praise. No, that lady, she took care of you. Because the bad that I see is a lot of these guys could have been up for adoption. Moms didn't have to keep them. They probably wanted them for the money or something like that. But hey, how's it going? But I just don't like it when I hear a lot of guys talk about their mothers in a bad way, in which I understand not all parents are the best, but the guys here, man, it kills me to hear so many guys talk so bad about their mom. And then let's say that they had an okay mom, they're not talking about them. But the baby mamas, you chose that baby mama. You laid down and had that baby with that lady, but then you talk so ill about her like she's the worst in the world. I'm like, dude, what are we doing? Like what's really going on? You know? And then to have more grief than that, just to shut down all women in general that they ain't good. And I understand if all the women ain't good, leave them alone. Don't talk to them. But it's just I don't get it. In this space we have so much hate towards the women. My thing is be a monk. Stay to yourself. You ain't gotta deal with the women. You ain't gotta talk about the women. I mean, I've heard so many men talk about the women more or less. You know, why you talk so much about people that you hate? I don't get it. And today being Mother's Day, it should be a day where a lot of people shooting up screens for mothers and being appreciative. Even the ones that didn't have the okay mothers. So you mean to tell me that this lady never did nothing in your life that represents some type of warm in your heart for her? That at one point she did something nice. I mean, this is the whole point of Mother's Day is appreciation. She gave you life. She could have gave you for adoption. You know what I'm saying? She could have, took the plan B. But back then they did worse things than the plan B. But she could have got an abortion. I mean, like I said, it's not gonna be a long screen, but I'm just frustrated when I hear a lot of guys talk like this towards their moms. I understand not all moms are good to the point, but when it comes down to it, I mean, honestly speaking, these women are that bad to where you don't got nothing to say, nothing good to say about them. That's my biggest trait. You don't have nothing good to say about them, and that's cool. If they were that bad of a person, I understand. But it kills me. I lost my mom young, and I know I'm gonna get this whole simp label cap and all this other stuff. But my mom was not perfect. She did a lot of crazy stuff, but in a sense, the good that she did, I appreciate it. You know, She could have easily, let me up for adoption, me and my brother. Yeah, not even just my brother, me. She could have me alone. And just appreciating your mom, you know, even if she wasn't there the whole time, or even though she like this bad stuff that all these guys say about their moms, the way they did them, because it's crazy in this space. I can't even look at movies now without saying, "Ah, man, the gynocracy." Like I can't look at certain shows now without start saying, "Ah, man." I mean, I've already seen this before, but it's so much putting a fire to the flame now, to where, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like I said, just dropping this little quick one. I might go in detail later because I got a couple of things I got to, like I said, I got to handle some business. Got a couple of meetings and stuff I got to attend, and it's just crazy. And what's going on? Hey, Charles, how you doing? Lonzo, what's going on? And the gold professor himself. But yeah, it just, going into dealing with the people in the space, we got to start showing more love to the women. And even if you're not dealing with these women, I've talked to someone else earlier, and I was saying, for all the guys that say they don't want to date, baby mamas and stuff like that, but they're about the kids, about the next generation of young men. Why are you not mentoring that young man? You know, if you can't, I know the connection might not be there for that woman, but the connection should be there for the child. And that's what I'm looking at. For all the guys that, go on these tangents about baby mamas. Like I said, I married one. I don't advise every man to deal with the women like that, because it it's a different type of thing. You got to find that woman that really wasn't um just being ratchet, you know. And I always push it, let people know about the story of my wife having two kids by the same man. For all the guys to say that that woman should be with that man and she gave him a child, she got a second child from this guy trying to work with him, and he wasn't doing right. So is it her fault that, you know, truthfully, yeah, she picked a bad dude, but let's be honest, a lot of guys, they wolf in sheep clothing. If you're not that type of guy, then I'm not talking to you. But for the guys that are, these type of guys. These are the type of guys that will sit up here and act as if, they're the best thing since sliced bread. They'll put on the show. They always, dapper Dan and got themselves looking good, got themselves together. But then, the prefix, they still playing around in the streets and, doing what they want to do. But and everybody else, they have a perception of being a well built, well to do man. So if we gonna go for there, we go for that. But like I'm saying, it just, you gotta start putting more respect on the women if you're gonna get married, because we all hear about these men that want to get married but can't find the right woman. I mean, it's the perception of your mind. I mean, if you look for dirt, you're gonna find dirt. If you always talking about the dirt, being willing and dealing with the dirt, you know, most people stay to themselves and stumble onto, a good woman. Most people, just not even working that hard. I mean, BGS said it best. The average man is pretty much gonna find their soulmate once out of a lifetime. You'll do good if you find them twice. But the whole premise is, if you're out there and you're shooting everybody down, not giving no woman a chance, how you know that that might not be the perfect woman for you? Because all women are evil. Any woman that comes on the panel, most of the time, majority of the men chop their head off. What's going on, Laro? Majority of the men come on, let the women come on the panel. They chop their head off. You know, that's one of the good things I like about Roger and Art and Style channel, Art and Style TV. They pretty much let the women have an open floor because not because they're trying to let the women control the panel, but majority of the time, if you've been taught wrong, how are you going to get correction when all you hear is guys coming at you with with swords drawn, ready to kill? Let the women state their claim, whether it be wrong or whether it be right. And then you get an understanding of the mindset in which she was taught, who taught her, and why she thinks this way. You know, because there's some women that actually come on and understand, like, wow, this is wrong. You know, even with dealing with the sisterhood, women stick up for each other, but it's eventually most of them look at it and be like, man, that's crazy. So, like I said, man, just today's Mother's Day, man. Guys, you should be appreciative of your mother, whether she was good or bad. You know, y'all can call me simp. Lucky I can put my other avatar up here. I will put up my cap, super Captain Saver guy. But like I'm saying, when it come down to it, it's not hard, man. All these women ain't bad. It's a good majority of them, and it overshadows the good women that are trying to do something and trying to do the right thing. But if all the men are coming at these women that are even trying to be a good person, not even giving them the benefit of the doubt, I go on several panels and I hear the ladies say that they don't like going over in this space where the men at due to men I always want to yell and clown on them when they say something wrong. Just take it as a child. When a child does something wrong, your mom jumped down on their throat. But you know, most women they kind of come at the child just for their mistakes and stuff, but they come back and apologize, be humble about it, because in some cases either the child don't know or the child just mindset is different. And when you're frustrated at the time, you're gonna make that mistake sometime of going off. I never heard a guy apologize majority of the time on the panels for a mistake. Woman say the wrong thing. Like, I always take this. Topaz said something on one panel, and the guys were kind of jumping down her throat. I came back and said the same thing, and she laughed and was like, I just said the same thing. And like I told her, it came from a man. You know, guys have this trigger to where it's so keen to where it's turned on that if a woman say something, you got to second guess it. But majority of the men have said, sometimes we kind of roll with the guys, and sometimes I'm gonna be like, nah, man, I'm not cutting for that one, you know. And more or less, you start asking questions. It's almost as like you're bagging a dog into a corner with some guys, and they just don't want to respond. And the ones that do respond, that's when their card get pulled. But yeah, I think I'm about to go ahead and jump off. But like I said, just wanted to do this quick video, man. Just saying that, I understand you might have a bad mom or so. I mean, but she wasn't always bad. There's certain moments that she did do the right thing for you. Some people, the bad outweigh the good. But the point of it is, today is for appreciation. When you go get a award at school for honor roll, you know, you got a couple of F's on your in the class, got a couple of A's and B's, but they're honoring you for the A's. You know, that's the achievement that you've done of greatness. They're not honoring the F's. They're not honoring the pitfalls in their life. They're not honoring that you got zeros and D's. Just F's and D's. They're honoring the good. And this is the whole thing about Mother's Day, man. I understand if you don't even want to talk to your mom, cool. Most men got to the point in a situation where they're not talking to their parents. Cool, man. But in your heart, just say a little thanks to her in your head. That's all I'm saying. If you don't talk to her, show a little thanks. She might not even be on social media. Throw out You know, my mom wasn't always good, but she did do some good things in my life, and I appreciate that. Hey, you can even tell a family member, whatever. But like I said, I'm just doing this little quick stream. I know the simp talk is coming, man, and all this. You know, like I tell guys, I don't care. This YouTube, you know, social media. Even with social media, majority of the people I know on there, I don't friend people I don't know. So it's not a big deal for me, man. And once again, we gone and I'm out.